Hello students, very good morning. Today we are going to start history, chapter number 4, the Mughal Empire. So let us start. Our first topic is Babur, 1526 to 1530 he ruled the kingdom. Babur ruled over his kingdom 1526 to 1530. His full name was Zahir-ud-Din Muhammad Babur. At the age of 12, he first established himself at Kabul and then moved towards India, the land of gold. Battle of Panipat. On the invitation of Daulat Lodi, Babur defeated Ibrahim Lodi in the Battle of Panipat in April 1526 and occupied the throne at Delhi and Agra. Babur had a smaller army, but he won because of superior leadership and superior weapons. In Battle of Khanwa, he then had war against Rana Sanga of Mewar. Rana Sanga had joined hands with other Rajput and Afghan kings. Sultan Mahmud Lodi also joined Rana Sanga. Babur told his soldiers that it is a religious war and they defeated Rana Sanga in March 1527. He then had a war against combined forces of Bihar and Bengal in 1529. He died in 1530 before he could establish the Mughal Empire. A book titled Babur Nama Tuzak-e-Babri gives all the information about this brave and able ruler. Now, let us read about Akbar, 1556 to 1605. After Humayun's death in 1556, Akbar became the Mughal king. Akbar was the greatest Mughal ruler of India. He was only 13 when he ascended the throne. He was guided by his tutor Bairam Khan. In Second Battle of Panipat, under the leadership of Hemu, the Afghan ruler and nephew of Sher Shah Suri, Afghan were gaining power. Mughal forces under the guidance of Bairam Khan defeated Hemu in November 1556 and established Akbar at Delhi and Agra. He then captured Rajasthan, Bihar, Bengal, Gujarat, Deccan, Assam, Kashmir, Kandahar and Kabul. Akbar was given a tough fight by Maharana Pratap, the ruler of Mewar, but later Akbar finally won the war against Maharana Pratap. Akbar died in 605. So now let us discuss about Akbar's Mansabdari system. In Akbar Mansabdari system, Akbar created an imperial service based on merit and graded it according to military rank. This system was called as Mansabdari system. The lowest rank was 10 and highest rank was 5,000 for nobles. Princes received rank of 7,000. Emperor directly appointed Mansabdars. They were paid in cash and not in land grants. Out of his salary, Mansabdars were expected to maintain a quota of horses, mules, elephants and carts. Mansabdars acted as military commanders and civil administrators. This status was not hereditary. Now, let us understand about Akbar Rajput policy. Akbar Rajput's policy was one of his greatest achievements. He entered into marriage alliances with Rajput. Bhara Mal, the ruler of Amber, married his daughter to Akbar. He gave religious freedom to his wives who followed Hinduism. The policy ended the old enmity between the Rajput and Mughals. He placed Rajput in the Mughal government. This greatly helped him to achieve success. Now, let us discuss about some social reforms introduced by Akbar. Social reforms. He stopped the practice of sati, however, allowed those women who committed sati on their own free will. Akbar promoted widow remarriage. He stopped the pilgrim tax jizya, which non-Muslim had to pay. He raised the age of marriage to 14 for girls and 16 for boys. He was against polygamy. Akbar followed the policy of religious tolerance. Now, let us discuss about some educational reforms introduced by Akbar. Educational reforms. He revised educational syllabus and focused more on moral science, mathematics, agriculture, geometry, logic, and history. If a rich man died without hire, then that amount was used by the government to develop educational institutes. Scholarships were provided to students. Girls were allowed to go to schools. Now, let's see about some posts during Akbar reign. Chief Qazi, highest judicial officer. Second rank, Diwan A. Ashraf, head of land revenue department. Third, Diwan, head of finance department. Next, Mir Bakshi, head of military pay and accounts office. Next, Khan A. Saman, head of imperial household department. Next, Daroga A. Topkhana, head of artillery. Next, Mir Arj had to look after the petition. Now, let us discuss about Aurangzeb 1658 to 1707. Shah Jahan's third son, Aurangzeb, ascended the throne in 1658 after imprisoning his father in the Agra's fort. After winning the battle with his father and three brothers, Aurangzeb ascended the throne in 1659. He ruled for 50 years, and during this period he fought many wars. He expanded the Mughal Empire. Aurangzeb reversed Akbar's policy of religious tolerance. Later, he was challenged by Jat, Satnamis, Sikhs, Rajput and Marathas Shivaji. He died in 1707. After his death, due to his weak successor, the power of Mughal Empire started decline. So, my dear one student, the chapter is over. I hope you understand each and every topic. If you have any doubt, any query, you are freely to ask me in a live session. Till then, bye-bye. Take care.